Hi, welcome to the show. Glad you're here. Got a special treat for you, like usual. We have an anniversary coming up that's huge, a 50-year anniversary next year, and I wanted to talk about the history and the immediate shows and season that's coming up at Gallery Theater because there's a lot going on. It's very exciting. And I have with me to talk to about that Seth Renne, the general manager at the theater, and Meridith Symons, member of the board of directors and actor of many years. Us together, we've been on the stage, husband and wife, at least once.
We have.
All right. Well, it's great to have you here. Well, let's just catch people up if they're not familiar with Gallery Theater. 49 years this year, getting ready for the 50th. Let's go back to the early days. Neither of us were there. Neither of us were there. You certainly weren't.
I don't think he was born.
I was not quite born yet.
But we know the story. Tell us the story, Meredith, about how it got started.
Well, I know that Leah New and Frank Nelson were two of the people. There were some other people, and I can't quite remember who that was right now, but there were maybe a group of 4 to 6 people who got together and decided that live theater should be here in McMinnville and in Yamhill County. And the name Gallery comes from the fact that they used to perform in the Renshaw Gallery at Linfield College for many years. And then we now have our building on Ford Street and have been there for many, many years. We have 2 performing spaces. We have the main stage, and then we have our black box theater. So we can alternate stages, which allows us a lot of flexibility. We also have a large dance studio. And so a lot of people have come through Gallery Theater in the last 49 years, almost 50 years. And it's been exciting to see people grow up in the theater and come back and do things on stage.
And we have an incredible facility. We have a costume room that is known far and wide. Tell us about that, Seth.
Our costume shop is one of the largest in the state as far as community theaters have, and even a lot of professional theaters. We just recently rented stuff out to a professional theater for a show because we had a stock of things that they were needing. We rent stuff to schools, to other local theaters in the area, and to individuals. We do costume Halloween rentals every year, and it's a great source of income for the theater as well as a facility that a lot of people would just dream about.
And I think one thing we should do right now is say that we have that because of some very dedicated volunteers. For many, many years, Carol Burnett. And now for many, many years,
Antonia Osterhout. We have Linda Prince in there. They have given hours and hours of their time and just do a phenomenal job of maintaining the stock, doing repairs. Antonia has been working on reorganizing the entire thing. It looks better than ever up there. Everything is
thousands and thousands of costumes.
Thousands of costumes, thousands of hours time putting into getting it to be a usable space.
And how are the costumes cleaned?
We have a fantastic local dry cleaning shop, Alpine Cleaners.
Alpine Cleaners still is doing all the costumes.
They donate dry cleaning to us, and they're phenomenal.
Yeah, I go every time I take my dry cleaning in there, I say thank you for that. They're just a great asset to the community.
Well, this is a community of volunteers, and it doesn't matter what your expertise is or your desire might be. You can come and work on costumes, you can come help build a set, you can paint the set, you can usher, you can work backstage. Working backstage is actually a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
You don't have to memorize any lines, but you know all of them because you've heard them all. And you get to go to all the parties, which is always the fun part. But you meet people from all over. When we're at the theater, doesn't matter whether you're the president of a bank or you are a student at the high school or whatever your line of work is. Everybody is on a level playing field there. And I used to say when I first moved here and came to gallery shows when I was first here almost 30 years ago, I was amazed at the amount of talent that we have locally, I'm no longer amazed. I'm just always very pleasantly surprised when I see it, and I hear wonderful voices, and I watch people dance, and I don't do either of those things. So it's really wonderful to see people have an outlet for that, where you don't have to go far to be able to express yourself. And as an audience member, you don't have to go far to enjoy other people's performances either.
Seth, you were talking about almost every play, or at least several times a season, there's opportunities for first-time performers.
Absolutely. This year, we'll have 2 shows with fairly large casts in them. We're going to be doing To Kill a Mockingbird and Shrek the Musical. And both of those are fantastic opportunities for people that may have seen a show and thought, oh, that looks kind of fun, but have never done it, to come and audition. We're always looking for new talent. We're always looking for new people to join our family.
And it happens. They come out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
And
just last season, we had a young man that auditioned on a whim for Enchanted April, and got cast in it, and then came back and was one of the leads in The Producers, and is going to be in Calendar Girls now, and will be in Reefer Madness.
wow.
And you
Can't
know,
stop him now.
yeah, and that's honestly, that's the way that it was for a lot of people. You do one show and all of a sudden it's like, I can't wait to go back.
And it doesn't happen sometimes. There'll be a young person in the play, and their parent will be there kind of, monitoring.
Absolutely.
And then they'll say
Hey,
to
we
the
need someone
parent.
to pull the curtain. Can you
Or-
help us
Well,
out?
several years ago, actually, when we did Wizard of Oz, the first time, there was a young girl who was a munchkin, and her dad was there, and he was sitting in the audience during rehearsals, and we needed a Winky. We said, here, put this on, and just follow the person in front of you. And he had such a great time going yo, that he was in several plays after that. So.
Fun.
So it's a great opportunity. There's
Well,
not a
it-
lot of barrier.
It's one of the few places where entire families can come and participate in something together. Back in 2007, I directed Fiddler on the Roof, and my parents were in the show.
Oh, wow.
They'd never been on stage before. My dad was in a rock band in high school, but they had a great time. It was an opportunity for us to spend more time together doing something that we all really enjoy.
Well, we've talked a little bit about some of the shows that are coming up. Let's just go through the whole season. Right now, coming up in the end of January.
January 20th, we open Calendar Girls, which is a play based on the Helen Mirren film of several years ago. And that was based on a true story of women who came together to raise money for, actually they just wanted to raise money to buy a sofa for the waiting room at the cancer center where one of the women's husbands happened to be being treated. So they did this calendar, an alternative calendar, rather than Churches and Bridges. They wanted to do a little pin-up calendar, and it raised so much money that they were able to put on a whole wing of the hospital.
Oh, wow. Say that again. They went from a sofa.
Sofa
To a new hospital wing.
to a wing of the hospital.
No, this must have been quite a calendar.
Well, yes.
Let us in on it. So not everybody's seen the movie.
Well, it's mature women
Uh-huh.
doing a pinup calendar. So you remember the pinup calendars from back in the 40s and 50s
Yeah.
and 60s. Well, instead of the young 20-year-old women, these are the 40, 50, and 60-year-old women who are going to be on a pinup calendar. And it's quite entertaining, actually.
It's a very funny.
It's a funny but very poignant, because all of these women have a story, and they are in this women's group. It's called the WI, the Women's Institute in Britain, and they do things like have speakers come in, and they have bake sales and all that kind of thing, and do philanthropic types of work. And in every group of women, you have certain tensions, and you have certain friendships that are very endearing and long-lived. and how that all plays out. And it's more a story of that and how they all come together for this one cause. And I have a small role in it, and my role is to be the antagonist. In other words, I don't want them to do the calendar. But
Now, do you end up in the calendar?
I won't tell you.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to come and see the show to see if I wind up in the calendar. And we're going to do our own calendar.
Oh, actual print, have
We're
them
going
for
to-
sale.
We're going to have our calendar with the cast members being part of the calendar, and part of the proceeds will go to the theater, and we are going to give a donation to the cancer research out at Willamette Valley.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow, and you may or may not be in the calendar.
Oh, I'm
but-
going to be
she'll
in the
definitely-
calendar.
Oh, you are
I'll
in that
definitely
one.
be in the
For sure.
calendar.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to be in the calendar. You'll have to buy one to find out.
That sounds great.
And I think
Wow.
Seth said we were also going to do.
Yeah, we're going to have a general just gallery theater calendar available also. If the Calendar Girls pinup calendar is not your style, you can still support the theater and the cancer research by purchasing a gallery theater calendar also.
And it makes sense to buy that calendar in January.
Absolutely.
Right
Good
away.
time.
And so come to this show,
All right.
see this incredible show about an incredible story, and have a choice of calendars to buy to support the theater. All right, Calendar Girls, what a great choice to start out with. What's next?
So after that, we'll be doing Reefer Madness, the musical, which is a political satire spoofing the original 1936 propaganda film Reefer Madness, or Tell Your Children, as it was also titled. It is a raucous musical comedy that is mainly about taking, we take some of the actual newspaper headlines from William Randolph Hearst and the things that they said about marijuana at the time, that it was more addictive than heroin, that it would cause cannibalism.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Everything, all of the facts that they point out in the show are things that were actual newspaper headlines.
Okay, so this sounds like false news.
Yes, it does.
It's very
doesn't
timely.
It? It's very timely. It is a lot more about propaganda and censorship than it is about marijuana. That just happens to be the vehicle that was chosen because there already existed this film that wasn't meant to be entirely serious and was shown in churches and schools and all over. And if you watch it, is just absolutely hilarious.
Now you're in it.
I will be in this one.
It's a musical.
It is a musical.
You sing wonderfully.
Well,
I'm
thank
glad
you.
to hear. And what's your role?
So I play a character named Ralph in the show. He is a former frat boy who has been seduced by the Reefer and has basically gone completely insane.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
well,
it is.
I'm
It is a very fun show. We're going to be doing 2 midnight performances of this show, so we can have a larger, more fun,
youthful,
audience.
active, participatory crowd. The show is not just about marijuana. I think you said there were a couple other themes in it.
Yeah, so it really is. It's a political satire. So they choose to use marijuana as the vehicle of this, but at the end of it, it's the finale. They call it a star-spangled finale, and it's kind of about, okay, we've accomplished our goal of demonizing marijuana. What are we going to move on to next?
I see. Okay. Wow. Okay. So another socially conscious show. We've got women coming together to support
Cancer research.
cancer research. We've got
False
commentary.
news and political commentary.
How old is Reefer Madness?
The musical itself is from the early 2000s.
Okay.
But again, the original film was from 1936.
Yeah. All right. What's next on the?
So then after that will be The Gin Game, which is a Pulitzer Prize winning drama. It's about 2 elderly people in a retirement home that it uses the game of gin as a metaphor for their lives at this place and just the point that they're at with not having really anybody left in their life.
And how they're very lonely and they kind of find each other and kind of come together at the end of their life. So.
And these haven't been cast yet, so
Yeah,
these-
this
No.
one is not, Gin Game
these
has
are
not been
people
cast yet.
Can think about doing that. Okay, what's after that?
Then we kind of take a summer break. We have our kids camp over the summer. We do our Kaleidoscope Readers Theater.
Tell us a little bit more about Kids Camp.
Kids Camp has been going on for several years, and we have children from 7 to 17 come for a week, and we usually have two groups. We have the elementary school children, and then we have the middle and high school children, and they work on different things, but at the end of the week, we put on one big show, and they learn dance, and they learn little skits. They learn about the theater. They learn about live performance. It's great for helping them learn how to collaborate with others and how to find their passion. It may not be on stage. We've had several young people decide that the tech booth was where they wanted to be. They wanted to work on sound and lights, and that's okay.
It's great.
And because we're always looking for someone to work sound and lights. And
So we have people from graduating from Kids Camp that eventually are in charge of the light booth when they get older.
We
Well,
have, I mean, we
that's
have.
very true.
We
I
have
can speak to that personally.
Meredith's granddaughter did kids camp for years.
Before my granddaughter, my youngest son worked in the tech booth when he was in high school here. But yes, my one granddaughter decided she didn't want to be on stage. So we said during kids camp, well, why don't you run the spotlight? She loved it. And then she was asked to help with the spotlight for, what was the show that what?
She did spot for Little Shop of Horrors.
There we are, Little Shop of Horrors. And then she all of a sudden, she's programming lights and she's doing all kinds of things. And she's now been.
She's going to go off to college.
She's going to go off to college, but over at the high school, she has taken on the light booth and has organized it and does all kinds of things. And she has all kinds of people from the theater that she calls all the time. She's always texting Robert Osterhout, our technical director. She's texting Billy Coles, who's in New York, who was another student who did a lot in the tech booth, about, well, what should I do here? And now she wants to go and get a degree in technical theater.
Wow. Okay, so that's Kids Camp.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And let's see, what's the other summer program you mentioned?
We do the Kaleidoscope Readers Theater, which is a 2 or 3 week. We do a different show each week. It's all Readers Theater, so you have scripts in front of you. And that's an opportunity for us to do some new works. We've done original plays by local playwrights. And it's also a great opportunity for people that might not have time to commit to a full rehearsal schedule that still want to be involved in a show somehow.
Smaller involvement.
And we get new directors in that way. And it's a lot of fun. I just did my first one actually this last summer. This was the 5th year, I think, and I hadn't done any of them yet. And it was a great opportunity and a lot of fun.
They
I
are
know
fun.
you've done a few of them.
I've done several, and it is fun. You don't have to memorize lines, although you do have rehearsals, and you know the lines pretty well, but you do have a book in front of you, and it does give people an opportunity to kind of put their toe in the water and see if this is something they might like to do.
So I'm hearing over and over again, this is a welcoming organization. There's,
We consider it a family. That's why it's a great place for children to come and learn about theater and to participate, because they don't have just mom and dad and grandma and grandpa at home. They have a whole legion of parents who are watching out for them.
New aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I did my first show at Gallery Theater in 1995. You were actually in that one with me. That was
Remind me.
Oliver back in 1995.
Did I play the bad guy?
You were terribly frightening. And Meredith was in the next show that I did there, which was the small Christmas show in '96 called Silent Night.
Yes, yes.
And we've grown up. I've grown up with
He's grown
these
up
people, and
in the theater.
And now you're the theater manager.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, that's summer. We're halfway through the year.
Halfway
We're through
through.
summer now, and what ends the summer break?
So after that, we'll go back to the main stage, and we're going to be doing To Kill a Mockingbird, which is my favorite book. Southern town is torn apart when a young black man is accused of raping a white woman, and the story centers around the lawyer who will be defending him and his two children and their friend.
The most
And-
popular fictitious character
Ever.
ever Atticus Finn,
And
Which you played.
You
which
did
I
the last time
played.
we did
It was
it.
wonderful.
Last time we did
And Debbie Harmon's directing that one.
yes, she will be.
And big roles for some young talented kids.
Yeah, there's Scout, Jem, and Dill, which are three fantastic roles for youth. So we're lucky that it's happening after kids camp, because we can hopefully get some people interested.
And if a child was thinking about being in To Kill a Mockingbird, they might go to kids camp to warm up and
Be
to get
seen,
noticed. Yeah.
Get noticed.
Yeah.
That's what we tell them.
Okay. Good.
And we're very, very excited about that show. It's a beautiful script. I'm really excited to see that happen.
Wonderful. And what's next?
In October, we do Stop Kiss, and I'll let Seth
So
talk
yeah,
about that
Stop
one.
Kiss. It's a fairly new play. It centers around Sarah and Callie, a woman. One of them is brand new to New York. Another one has lived there for a while, and the two get connected through mutual friends, as to introduce the new one to the city and help her kind of get settled. And the relationship that they end up finding with each other is something they never expected. And one night they're out walking through the West Village, and they end up kissing each other for the first time ever. And somebody sees that and is not happy with it, and ends up sending one of them to the hospital after attacking them. And it's a show that is about relationships, about how do you take care of somebody that you don't really know all that well, and now their life is literally in your hands. We bring in other people from their past, ex-boyfriends, friends, and it really just delves into the relationships that all of these people have with each other. It is a absolutely beautiful, beautiful show.
Who's directing that?
Her name is Jennifer Dolphin. She has been involved in gallery for some time too.
And directed some plays in Newburgh, I think.
Yes.
This is her first show directing here at Gallery, and it's a show that she's very passionate about, and she's going to do a wonderful job with it.
All right, great. So, and then the finale. Now, is it it's like a Christmas show?
It is a show that will take place at Christmas time. There's not a Christmas theme to
Other
this
than
one.
there's a lot of green.
There's a lot of green. Our favorite ogre is going to be gracing the stage. We're going to be doing Shrek the Musical. And that's based off the popular movie of Shrek, the first one.
So the cheeky donkey is.
Yep, we got the donkey, we got Shrek, we got Fiona, we've got Lord Farquaad, we've got the gingerbread man and the three little bears, and
Is it a large cast, medium
it's a
size?
large cast
Okay,
show.
lots of kids. Mm-hmm. Little ogres, little what?
Little fairy tale characters.
Okay, fairy tale character.
All the friends from Duloc, and it is the music in it is spectacular. It was written by Janine Tesori, who, I don't know if you know who that is, but she has written some of the best recent musicals. She did Fun Home. She has done a number of very popular musicals.
Pretty ambitious show
It is.
to be taking on costume-wise,
Costume-wise, we've
makeup-wise.
put, and when we were budgeting, we
Uh-huh.
decided to put our money where our mouth is on this one, and we're going for it. And it's going to be directed by Robert Salberg, who McMinnville audiences should recognize as he was Will Parker in Oklahoma. Outside the area, he's directed for a number of years at Pentacle Theater, and we're very excited to have him directing a show for us. And
Well, many years ago, he was the Cat in the Hat.
oh yeah, in Seussical, the first
The
Seussical.
first time we did Seussical.
Now, the theater charges admission, and the proceeds pays for some of the expenses.
Some of the
Somewhat.
expenses.
And so how do we fill out the budget? I would say half, maybe 60%.
About 60% is
Comes-
done through ticket sales.
Okay.
The rest is done through memberships, which is donations from our patrons and businesses.
Well, membership. Let's talk a minute about membership.
Well, membership can be anywhere from, what did we say, $25? $25 on up. We don't put a cap on it. You may contribute as much as you like. Anything that you do contribute in that way, a donation, is tax deductible to you. So not only are you doing a good deed, but you're getting a good deal for yourself because you'll get to write that off of your taxes at the end of the year. We also have what we call a Flex Pass. So there are individual tickets that you can purchase, and you may purchase them online, or you may purchase them at the box office, but most people these days are purchasing them online. You can print them off at home, you just show it when you
Show it
come
to the
in.
usher.
Show it to the usher, and in you go. We do have a Flex Pass that you can purchase, which is a package of tickets that can be used however you want to. You can use it for one for each show, or you can take several of your friends to one show, but it's a little bit of a discount for you that way. If you do have a Flex Pass, you do have to call and make a reservation, however.
It acts you get 6 tickets, and it acts like a ticket voucher. So it guarantees you 6 tickets to our year. However, you still have to call and make reservations.
Okay.
So if a show is already sold out and you have not used your ticket voucher, we cannot help you.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, there's a couple other fundraisers. Let's talk about those. We just have about a minute left.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, our biggest fundraiser this year will be our second annual adult prom, which will happen on May 20th. Last year we did a totally awesome 80s prom. This year we'll be featuring a different decade. It's not quite set in stone what that's going to be yet, but it should be before too long. And that is a fun night for anyone 21 or older to come, and we have alcohol and snacks and music and dancing and
a mirror ball.
a mirror ball and fog machines and strobe lights, and it is a lot of fun.
Already had lots of
We had
fun
a
this time.
really great time with our 80s prom. We also will do a couple cabarets this year. We started doing that last season. And one of them will most likely be hosted up at Youngberg Hill Winery again. We did our miscast cabaret there last year. It was a lot of fun, people singing songs that they would never get cast in. We have a couple ideas for this year, and we're really excited about some of the extra opportunities people have to perform and support the arts.
Well, I want to thank you both for all the work that you do to keep the arts alive and vibrant and fun. And Meredith, pass that on to the board from the whole community, that we're lucky to have you. So thanks so much. And thanks for being here today.
for
And
having
Calendar
us.
Girls coming up end of January.
Get your
January
tickets
20th.
now, they're
Get your
on sale.
tickets.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.